Here we go. We're back. Week 2. I'm joined with Cori's Corner. How you doing, Cori?
The realest, the biggest, the best Eagle fan that you will ever know. I'm doing well, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy CJ, even though he got that punk ass jersey on. You know, it is what it is.
Just hating. Just that's a lot of hating, real quick. You know what I'm saying? You can't live with that in your heart, Corey. You gotta let that go. You
For the
gotta let it
Cowboys,
go.
I can. What did he say? What did Kendrick say? For him, I'll inherit the beef.
Kendrick gonna take that shit to the grave, man. Let's be real with it. Let's be real with it. Corey, how you doing today, bro? How's life?
Oh, life is good. The Eagles got a dub.
They
So
did.
anytime the Eagles get a dub, at least life good for a week. I ain't gonna lie, I get to change my profile pick, which I haven't changed yet, but I got to go back to that. Change my profile pick for 48 hours to Jalen Hurts, and then I get to brag all week. I wasn't that great because the best week is the Eagles win and the Cowboys lost. But I'm glad, sure you
You
had a
know,
great
it's
week
funny.
because
Hey, remember how we used to talk about this in the group chat a lot? You know what I mean? I don't really be thinking about y'all like that. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I'll be happy and peaceful. You know what I mean? Y'all gracefully cross my mind every once in a while. And that's a fucking lie nowadays because Howie's messed it up for me, bro. Howie's messed it up for me, bro. How we do some shit, how we talks to the media, and I be getting mad, bro. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, man. I don't want to hear your shit, bro.
it's okay.
It's really mad. You
You
know?
wish you had them. It's all right. It's all good.
Boy, ain't nobody gonna lie and say nothing otherwise today. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got the Dak deal done last week.
Oh
At the
yeah.
last hour. Corey, I do want to ask, before we get really kicked off, man. You know what I'm saying? How did you feel last Thursday when the first dynamic kickoff, went into the air? What was the feelings you felt as we go into this new season?
NFL football season is the for me, and I know I'm biased. People can say NBA or college or whatever else. It's the best time of the year besides Christmas.
Mm.
It's you got college football going on. You got basketball's about to come back. Baseball's going and kind of heating up, right? And then you got NFL. So it just to me it's the start of here we go. Like to me it's like the new year. It really is January for me. That kickoff go up in the air. I'm like, are we good? We got 17 weeks of good football to play and to watch. I got NFL Red Zone, which I have a gripe about Red Zone,
What you got to gripe
but
about Red Zone for?
my shit wasn't working, and I'm paying for it.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, so I didn't pay for it this year. So what was going on?
It would not load on nothing. It wouldn't load on my phone. Wouldn't load on my computer. Wouldn't load on my TV. The entire time, I could not load up Red Zone. It was pissing me off
I'm
because I
confused,
like
bro.
to have what's up.
Because you have Red Zone, you have Sunday Ticket.
No, I ain't paying for
You
Sunday
ain't getting
ticket.
Sunday Ticket? Okay, okay. So
Hell
it's just
no.
another one.
I used to get Sunday ticket for the finesse, and then
Mm-hmm.
they changed their process in which they verify. So I can't verify it no more because I'm not a student. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Other students will give me the
What's just crazy though? Because you still have, don't you got the email address? The email
I have
address
a
is all that
university.
matters.
No, 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 no. They
Oh, they
changed it
actually
up.
check your stuff.
Yeah, you have to basically
Oh,
submit
that's
a
crazy.
transcript
You got
that
to
shows
submit a
that you're,
transcript.
bro, that shows that you're enrolled right
Oh
now.
shit! Maybe
It's
this is my
crazy,
last year. I
dog.
gotta get onto that so I
It's
can
crazy.
not you lose those
So I don't
benefits.
have
You know what I'm saying?
that. Now, honestly, even if I was able to do so, I'm boycotting until they offer a system in which I can just pay for my team's games.
Okay.
I don't want to. I don't want to watch the fucking Browns. I don't give a damn about the Browns games.
Mm,
I
mm.
just care about the Eagles. I'll pay 350 for a Eagles season. I know that I can watch every single Eagles game, whether it be in market or out of market. I'll be 100% fine uh, of doing that than having to pay the $600, $700 what it is right now. So
This is where we differ because your boy is a fantasy freak, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just a little AO on that. But I
yeah, I'm about to
absolutely
say,
I say you know what I'm saying.
hold on, buddy.
There's a little bit of me that enjoys watching all the games at the same time because of the fact that like I got so many players with dynasty implications and all the things like that. We'll talk a little bit about fantasy today, but you know what I'm saying I like to pull up the random what was the game last week that everyone was like, oh, the Saints and Panthers game, right? Man,
Right.
man, I was living off that. I said, ooh, let me see what Jawan Johnson is doing today. And he feasted, bro. That was great. That was a great game for me, fantasy wise. Terrible for any Panthers fans,
I
though. Sorry
mean,
about it.
I could see that, but I just be wanting to like I'm not going to be invested in that full
Yeah,
game. So like I that's why I like red zone. Red zone I can have multiple things up. It's going to give me the highlights and people who are in the red zone and I can see stuff like that for the fantasy purpose. But the games that I'm invested in are the Eagles games. So I
yeah,
just want to be able to watch the Eagles game. So
yeah.
red zone, get your stuff straight cuz I pay good money for NFL Plus.
You do. You do. You
Good
know what's
money.
crazy though? I think that if the NFL wasn't such a monopoly, bro, if there wasn't such a monopoly when it came to like the broadcast rights, because the Mavs this past week announced that they have now a local deal
Yes.
with one of the new stations here to broadcast all their games throughout the entire season for free. And I think
Perfect.
that that's just a missed opportunity. And I think NFL games when it comes to like the monetization of the ad space and stuff like that, I kind of get it, right? Like any NFL game is going to get higher viewership than any just random NBA game.
That's true.
But at the same point in time, I'm like, man, we missing out, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's so many individuals in, not just the local market, but just around the world who's a fan of our teams and they want to see it and they can't because the way we do business. So it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy because who wants to pay $700? Dog, that's a new PS5
$700
Pro.
is crazy, bro.
That's
It's
crazy, bro.
crazy. Like I
Crazy.
mean, I would not go more than 350 if I'm being honest with you.
Hmm.
And 350 is a little asinine too, but it is what it is. Like that's how we care about our teams, bro. You gonna
Yeah,
tell me, hell, it might be 350 to go to one Cowboys game, but I'm sure any other Cowboy fans they knew that they were gonna be able to see every single game, and it's a
yeah,
little bit different for our market because we're in the Cowboys market, right?
yeah.
So if you're in Cali though, or in Ohio, Springfield to be exact, uh, eating your
What you
cats
eating
and
over there? Yeah, you
dogs,
eating them cats and dogs over
eating
there?
your
You know what I'm
cats and
saying? What you
dogs,
eating this week, bro?
you might want to still watch the Cowboys. So like, just let people pay. You will still get your money. That's what I'm saying when it comes to the NFL's product.
Yeah,
Fans still have their fans, and maybe for teams that suck like the Panthers right now, maybe it's a little bit of a struggle. But for everybody else, it ain't gonna be no struggle. It's gonna be they gonna get their funyuns from
yeah.
people who are able to pay to watch every single game. Or you can
Facts.
buy like a imagine you can buy like a season, or maybe you buy like a 4 game package. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be tough. six
I
game
think
package or
if
like
they
a
could
half a
do like
season.
I think if they just did a payment plan, right? Like what you're saying about the packages and stuff like that. But even if you just like let me split it up into like $100 for the first month, because maybe I don't want to pay for my December games if the Cowboys are, you know what I'm saying, they 8 and however they only won 8 games on the season and they go into the December stretch and I ain't want to see all that. You know what I'm saying? Like little bits and pieces of that would make me feel a lot better. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm local, so I don't really have to deal with it. But
they
still,
could do that, but they be wanting their money in the football season. If you can put me
yeah.
on a payment plan, give me 12 months.
I will say
Don't give me
this.
the little 4 or 5.
I will say this. Knowing that I'm a Cowboys fan, we kind of speak on this a little differently because it don't matter when our game is. That shit national. It's on whatever
For
market we
sure.
want to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
And because the Eagles are where the most watched team last year was the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think the Cowboys were second.
Technically,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and then I can't remember who was third. But either way, because of that, we have so many primetime games now.
Hmm.
So it's not too bad for an Eagles fan, per se. But when the Eagles are playing at the same time as the Cowboys in my market, because we're in the
Yeah, we
DFW,
in DFW.
I'm
Yeah,
not getting that Eagles
yeah,
game.
yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
It's a conundrum. It's a conundrum. But hey, it is what it is. It's great to be in football season, man.
Hell
It's
yeah.
better than
Hell
any
yeah.
other time of the year for sure. We love fall around here. All right, Corey. I wanted to talk. I want to start going off on a bit of week one recap, man. All right, so first off, we didn't really talk about a lot about NFC East last week because I had to leave a little early. Sorry about that fire emergency.
You was
Um,
getting calls, boy.
I was getting called. Not this week. Hey, I got the phone. I gotta deal with it.
I'm gonna call tomorrow.
Shit. Hey, really? Oh, good luck with
Yeah.
that. I'm glad we getting you today. You ain't call tomorrow. Boy, ain't you busy tomorrow too? That's crazy,
Yes.
Corey. Good luck with that one.
Yes.
But so we got both of our teams winning. I would say in dominant fashion, right? When we would say in dominant fashion.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say yes and no for the Eagles.
Okay.
Cowboys for sure.
Cowboys for sure. But yeah, you talk about your Eagles, man. Talk about it.
Man, there's good and bad. Here's what I will say: the field was trash.
It was
All
trash,
right,
bro.
it was throwing me back to the Super Bowl. We lost to Kansas City, and I was getting really high anxiety about it. But
Especially
there's a
with Saquon
lot.
on the field, right?
Do you
That's a
feel me,
whole
man?
That's a whole different feel,
I was just waiting for him to step one wrong way.
bro.
So I'm already like, But he was a Saquon NFC Player of the Week. Had a fantastic game, 3 tutties on the Eagles debut. I mean, the only other player to do that was Terrell Owens. So shout out to
Oh,
T.O.
oh my god.
I know that's tough. I know it is what it is, but that's
Bro,
tough.
I'm just sitting here and I'm just thinking back to the offseason when I first saw the little scene of the Giants and they talking about Saquon's contract and they're like, well, I don't know what he wants to do. I mean, and then the Giants owner comes in and he says, listen, if I see him go to the Philadelphia Eagles, it's gonna be a tough one to swallow. And I'm just
And
thinking,
he pause is swallowing all of that because
hey,
dog.
pause.
Hey, that man, it's just that's crazy. Saquon is a beast, man, and this is I posted a YouTube video
Yeah,
of 5 takeaways I had. One of the takeaways was that like Saquon Barkley is him,
he's
and we
him.
have forgotten that. Like we,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But he's him because we have a really good offensive line. We are finally shout out to Kellen Moore. I hated him when he was with the Cowboys because
I
he was
still
so
fucking hate
good.
him. Fuck him. Even
He was
more. I
he's
hated him when he was
so
on the Cowboys and
good.
when he's off the Cowboys. Fuck
He's
him.
so good at scheming and using motion. And finally, there's like little itty bitty things with the pre snap motion that he was able to get people and get his playmakers open to get them the ball. So I love that.
Hey, Corey,
Jalen
Corey,
Hurts,
quick question. This quick
yeah,
question, not to interrupt your recap. If
come on.
let's just say after week one appearances, we have to fire a head coach in the NFC East, right? Does Kellen Moore, and I'm talking about for your team, right? Say if things ain't going exactly right and your coach has to leave for whatever reason or another, would you be okay with Kellen Moore stepping into the head coach role potentially?
I wouldn't mind it. I think there's
Just off
probably
of week one.
other. I mean, we got Vic Fangio too. So like, I feel like if Vic maybe runs the team a little bit more in a like a tough nature. In Philly, you really got to have that like Philly tough attitude. So I
Mm-hmm.
would prefer Vic, but I wouldn't be mad over Kellen being the head coach if that were to happen just off of week one. So I'm excited about the. I saw a lot of good things though. There were some things, some drives that stalled out. The first drive kind of scared me a little bit with Jalen Hurts throwing a pick, but I saw a lot of good things that if we can put it together, that's a big if, right? That's what separates the good teams from the great teams.
Yep.
Is everybody has everything, but if you don't put it together, you're not great.
True.
If and when we put it together, it's scary, bro. What I saw from the defense
It was
is all I needed to see, bro.
God,
That front seven is
Jacoby
nice,
Dean, dog.
bro, bruh.
Jacoby
And
Dean, dog.
Nick Bond, I don't even know who you are, fam, but I know now. I
Yeah.
was introduced, and I appreciate you. Our front seven was getting after it, and our cornerbacks played very well. So I'm like, could this be? I don't want to get ahead of myself, but like we just gotta. Our schedule is favorable, right? That's what I'm saying. If we put it together at the right time, our schedule is favorable enough to set us up in the right position. That's
I
all I
will
got to say. That's
say
my takeaway. So, what's your
y'all's
words?
y'all's week 5 outlook is pretty. I would say you would feel pretty comfortable coming out of week 5. When y'all's bye? You know,
Week 6, I think.
week 6. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to say that you going into the bye probably pretty happy at that point.
I think we're very happy. I don't see us losing till like week 7. I'm gonna be honest with you,
I gotta look at y'all schedule to really.
bro. It's very.
We gonna do that. We gotta do the. We got week 1 and we kind of messed it up, but we'll do. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll do it
you
at the end of the night. Let's
tell
do
me
a
how you feel
full
about
season.
your Cowboys performance.
Hey man. So first off, I want to just like double back on it. The scariest part of your team right now is your defense. That shit is the thing that has terrified me because I know what talent you have. And I know, like, on the defensive line especially, like, if you're able to get those boys going, then the linebackers get to move. And I really think that's the hidden conversation about it. Is the linebackers doing a lot of stuff, but they were cleared up because the defensive line was holding it down, dog. And, that's the same thing with the Cowboys, bro. This week, even especially, boy, DeMarvion Overshawn. Bro. Hey, I wish he was Agent Zero like he was at UT because it would have been so cold seeing Zero just running around the field. He outran Micah Parsons on a play. Like, Micah was closer to Deshaun Watson, and then all of a sudden you see like a flash, and DeMarvion Overshawn has sacked the quarterback. It was crazy.
It was hard for me to determine are the Browns that ass or is the Cowboys defense really that good?
I think it's more of the Browns being ass. If I want to be like 100%
Could be both.
with you, I think it's a little bit. It's definitely a little bit of both, in my personal opinion, right? But I definitely think the Browns aren't good. Just Like defensive wise, they are. Defensive wise, they're still going to be an elite unit. I believe that they didn't lock up CD. CD had a pretty good game still, but like we had to do some things just to get CD the ball, and that's not typically how what I'm saying. CD last year was going off. He was dominant, but I
I
think
needed
that
him to score one touchdown, bro.
I know, bro. I saw. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, at the end of the day, you got CD on your team, and that's all you really need for the season. He's
Yeah, he
gonna
gonna
go
go
off.
crazy. I'm
He's
not
gonna go
tripping.
crazy this
Yeah,
year. You know what I'm
he
saying?
going crazy.
Especially because Justin Jefferson didn't look super serious. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of an interesting game. He did okay. He didn't do
But Sam
bad.
Darnold surprised me.
Sam Darnold looked good, but also like that receiving core is an elite
That's
receiving
true.
core.
That's
We
true.
getting off topic. My
My bad. Go
Cowboys.
ahead.
So defensive wise, very very happy, very satisfied. I would say very very mindful, very demure. Just they were doing what they needed to do. They coasted by halftime, and that's honestly people are getting mad because like Dak didn't put up numbers. I don't know if y'all really know this about Dak, but when we winning, he don't really be putting up numbers, and that's for a specific reason because he don't
Nah,
need to.
they call him. That's why they call him Mr. Empty Calorie because it seems like his best numbers be put up in the fourth quarter. But he just
Sometimes,
he dinking Dak.
yeah.
He
Well, I won't say that.
no. The reason why I say dinking Dak, especially when it comes to last year, because remember the year before he had a lot of like interceptions and shit like that. I think when they switched it up and was good for him, he was on quick reads. Like he had one or two progressions. They really set him up to be able to get the ball out of his hands very fast. I think he's a wonderful. I hate to say game manager because people take it in negative connotation. It's crazy. I would have. I hate to say this, bro, especially in this, but I'm a football fan first.
Mm-hmm.
If I was another team, I'd take Dak as my starter. Like people really be tripping on Dak, bro.
Oh yeah, no,
He's not a bad quarterback.
Hey, listen, here we go. We're gonna talk about it real quick because that contract, bro. Imagine you getting $240 million, about 210 guaranteed.
I'm
and
rich,
you go out
bitch.
and you beat the Browns. That's man, that's a wonderful Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'll be
Facts.
going home feeling great. I'll be buying team dinner that night though, but still. Dak is Dak, and I think that what everyone gets messed up about Dak is like he has to sometimes win games and be the most important on the field, but like he don't need to be when you have a defense that's dominant.
Oh, just got to manage the game.
Yeah, you just gotta be able to win the game. And I'm happy as a Cowboy fan to say this though. Dak is clean, bro. Like he will ice up your whole defense if he was able to. And I think that when he faces the elite defenses, he's kind of shaky sometimes. I'll admit, he's kind of shaky. Like, there were some games last year where I was like, damn, I wish he was doing a little bit better. But any average NFL defense, you toast when you face Dak, and that was reflected in the record for the Cowboys last year. And I think this year, I would say it put me in a lot better mood because I see the defense with a new coordinator, right? Everyone was a little bit trepidatious because Dan Quinn had to leave and go to the Commanders, which kudos to him. Glad he got a job, but fuck him, he went to a rival. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I think that having a guy like Mike Zimmerman, who, in all intents and purposes, bro, he was causing havoc with Deshaun Watson the entire night. I mean, hey, what's up, Jenny? How you doing? So like Deshaun Watson he couldn't do anything, bro. He couldn't find any clean outlet, bro. He was messing up short throws to Njoku. He
just
was getting pressured,
cheeks, bro.
He was cheeks, but I also think that just like the way that we played him, it made it even more abundantly clear how bad he is as a quarterback. And I think that that's where the defense is going to succeed. We're going to have some games. We got the Saints this next week. Hey, shout out Luis, who I guess is a Texans fan this year. But
that boy better be. He still better be repping New Orleans.
He gonna own that L regardless.
Hey,
if he win, he gonna own that shit. Hey,
the Saints ain't look too bad this past week.
They did not. I will say this though, they faced the Panthers.
This is true, but like it's still an ass whooping, bro. Like
it was.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like if you can put it together,
team.
That's
it's hard
crazy.
to be any team in the NFL, but especially a team like the Panthers, who I think their defense is not terrible, but they got torn up by Derek Carr, which is crazy. But yeah, man, I enjoyed the Cowboys win. And the big bugaboos, right? It was always the road games. It was the games where you're facing an elite defense
in the playoffs.
and a strong run game. Hey, you know what? We ain't there yet. We not. Let me enjoy the season before we get to that part, right? Those were the times in which we were like worried about the Dallas Cowboys, and so
Mm.
it's great to see that all three little check marks of like I think the Browns are going to have a pretty nice run game this year, despite what happened this week, and I
Oh
think
yeah.
that their defense is going to continue to be elite. We were able to like not really be bothered by that. That's great to see. How do you feel about the rest of the games though?
I enjoyed like in going back. I went back and watched the Saints game, and that's why I'm kind of really high on like the Saints look really good. But also, you're right. Like it was they're not that great.
Bryce Young looked
Uh,
not great. Just point blank.
yeah, but they just not setting him up. I feel like Falcons
Mm-hmm.
not that great. Pittsburgh Steelers not
Not
that
great at
great.
all. That
I
game was
did
bad.
I did like the. I went back and watched the Buffalo Arizona game.
That
That
was
game was
good.
very interesting.
I'm a little
Though,
disappointed in Kyler though.
yeah, for sure. But what I will say is, I think that, and this is a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
I think Josh Allen gets praised, and he be doing the same thing that Jalen Hurts be doing.
I
Like
mean, this is okay. We can both be on agreement. This he does the same shit that Dak did 2 years ago.
bruh. I
Yeah,
mean, that man, Josh Allen is a turnover machine, fam.
he's insane, bro.
He's a
He
turnover
does not
machine. Like you
care. He's
can,
like Brett Favre with the amount of just I'm
yes,
just gonna sling this shit.
but for some reason, we let him off the hook with it, and then we criticize Jalen Hurts.
And Dak. And Dak.
Right.
Yeah.
And could it be?
I mean,
Can it
let's be
be?
real. Let's be real. It's
It is
probably
what
it.
it
You know what I mean?
is.
Yeah.
My hottest take, or it's not really even the hottest take, but like the Giants, not only are they ass, they uniform ass,
That
and
was
Daniel Jones,
terrible, bro.
yeah, them uniforms, bro, they need to go ahead and hang that up. I'm sorry, bro. Like I like when teams like to go back and like pay homage and do throwback stuff. So I'm not against throwback things, but that uniform is whack, fam.
It's bad. It was bad.
Sorry, Daniel Jones, get up out of there. I
Did you see
love
the fans
the
after the game?
the
Just
uh
dis
uh
bro. The get okay. So there's a clip of Daniel Jones walking out of the stadium, and all the fans are waiting for him and just calling him trash, and he just looks so miserable.
oh, I did see that.
Yeah,
When he was like walking outside until they actually waited for him to talk crap.
bro, that shit
Bro,
looks
that's terrible,
sad,
bro.
dog.
That's terrible. But also, get a life, y'all. Come online like we are and talk about it. Don't come on, son. Get online, spew your hate.
It's
You
a
know what I'm
red
saying?
flag. It's a
That's
red
very much so,
flag.
bro. You're doing the you're doing the utmost.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
we don't like that. That's not demure.
No, it's not nice at all. I think that was one of those games where yeah, a lot of a lot of the hype this offseason was over those three receivers, right? The
Right.
Roma Dunze,
Yes.
Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors, who I don't understand. I did not understand the Malik Neighbors thing because I'm like, yeah, he's cold, but he got drafted to the Giants, and they don't have anybody who can throw him the ball, and
He
that's
was still their leading receiver. I
sure,
mean, he had
but
like 70 yards.
that's not gonna okay. Fantasy wise, that's gonna be okay.
No,
But
maybe.
imagine Malik Neighbors, and this is the thing. Imagine Malik
Right.
Neighbors with a normal QB, just a
Oh,
normal.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's going to be nice.
Yeah, bro, he gonna be
Yeah.
not only nice. He's wide receiver one, and I would think in many formats because I thought he had that capacity of a high volume deep threat. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's just it's crazy to see. It's crazy to see. But how about some other games? One particular game I want to talk about, just one.
The Bengals?
The Bengals. What the fuck is going on with Joe Burrow, bro? Is he
Honestly,
hurt?
bro, I think he may be hurt, but I also think that he just is not as good as we think that he is.
Ooh, that's T. So you think he's like we just kind of like see him in the Super Bowl visit kind
Yes,
of vision?
I think it's, and I hate to say this about my boy, my boy Nick Foles, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Super Bowl. But Nick Foles was a terrible starter in the league.
He was.
He was great in relief. He led us to the Super Bowl. I won't take that off of him. But I think we lift him up because of his Super Bowl performance. And I feel the same about Joe Burrow. Like, at least right now, he has not, whether he's been injured or not. I think he was 4-5 before, or he was 5-4 or something like that. And he got injured last year, and the team went like 4-5 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Team still did good. There seems to be some issue with Jamar Chase and everything else, and then like it seems like his hand hurts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not out on Joe Burrow. He's still a good quarterback, but I just don't know if he's as good as we have touted him to be because of his Super Bowl performance.
I have issues, I think, with a lot of what the Bengals did this offseason. I think that, let's be real, all right? If Joe Burrow's hurt, he's hurt, and that's going to impact the way he throws, and especially if it's his throwing wrist. But and that's kind of an excuse, right? That's kind of a cop out. But I do think that there is a layer of getting Jamar Chase back the few days before, and you saw this with CD too, right? Like it was a little bit of rust that he had to knock off. He still had a good day, an okay day, you know what I mean, especially for a receiver who hadn't practiced the whole basically week. But I think
Man,
there is a layer of like that organization is not setting their players up to win, and that's disappointing to me, right?
I was about to
Um,
say. So,
I mean that's a core. It's the whole thing about like the Super Bowl windows. You know that conversation of how many years you have until
mhm.
your Super Bowl window closes, and I think it's be insane to say with Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and that team that I feel like is offensively skilled enough to win games that their Super Bowl window's already closed. That would be insane to me. But yeah, man, that
I
game was super
mean,
disappointing. But shout out
maybe,
to the
but maybe
Patriots, y'all.
not.
Shout out to
Because
my boy
and
Devontae.
maybe it's closed, but not on their behalf, right?
Yeah.
Other teams got better, so it's not like it's like their team didn't continue to get better. It's other teams that have gotten better, and that's why it may be closing. Like they're
But
gonna
out
get
of all the teams for them to close in that specific division, it being the Bengals, damn, that's tough. That's a tough pill
yeah.
to swallow because the Steelers ain't got a quarterback. They got two of them, but ain't one of them really good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the Steelers' window was never open.
That's
They
true.
didn't even have an opportunity to close. So
But they got Mike Tomlin, man. You can always do something with Mike Tomlin, bro. He's not gonna have a losing season. It's
yeah,
not
but
in him.
10-9 is still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shout out to Mike T though. I love Mike T. I'm just saying.
I pray for the day if he comes available the same year that the Cowboys are hired for a quarterback or hire for a coach.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be something. I'll tell you what. That'd be
Jerry
probably
Jones
a
gotta
day after
go.
Jerry Jones dead. But
I'm
you know
about
what
to
I'm
say
saying?
Jerry Jones gotta go.
Yeah,
That's the only way that
you
gonna
gotta be.
happen.
Hey man,
Patience to Jack for you today.
That's
um,
crazy.
I think that the entire league is put on notice from a few performances. I go at first, obviously the Chiefs beating the Ravens. Impressive, just an impressive game,
Oh
up
yeah.
and down. I'm still impressed with the Ravens, even if they lost, because they really
My boy
only
lost
lost
by a
by a toe.
toe.
By a
That's
toe, got the
crazy.
Kevin Durant treatment, bro. That was crazy.
Facts. I forgot about
Um,
KD.
yeah, bro. And I think that when you look at that game especially, it just showed you a few different things, right? The league is incredibly dumb, and especially the Bills for letting Xavier Worthy slip to the Chiefs, like everyone predicted was gonna happen if he got
True.
there. And
My boy
then,
fast, bro.
bro, incredibly that run, I was like,
That
hey
boy
man, come
fast,
on,
dog.
dog, come on. And we all knew it too. Like we all in Texas, we've seen the games, right? And
Yeah,
then
but sometimes that don't translate to the league.
that's
His
true.
did.
His he looks. I mean, I know he beat the record at the combine, but he looks like it's hard for the cameraman to follow him. You know what I mean? Like
Right, you gotta.
there was a little blur as he was running. Bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And then I think on top of that, seeing the defense actually hold what I consider. I think the Ravens' offense is going to be high powered. I think that Derrick Henry not being able to run more than 40 yards. Ooh, that's interesting. That's real interesting. You know what I'm saying? Who's the real running back, Corey? Is it Lamar? Is it Derrick Henry? You know what I'm saying?
Now Lamar looks very fast after that weight loss.
Yeah, he
That
does.
boy moving
He
too.
slimmed down. He slimmed down. I'm
That
glad
boy
for that
moving
too.
too.
Yeah, bro. I think that there's a lot to say about the teams there. I want to see more. Is my basic thing. I want to see more from the Ravens on that end. And then the other team that really, really impressed me, and you may not see it as much because they had to go to overtime to do it, but the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are absolutely verifying what I consider to be the top contender outside of the 49ers, because the 49ers did the Jets dirty. But
They didn't impress me because I already knew.
hey, that's true. That's true. You know what's? But I say this because they did all of that offense in the overtime without throwing to their top receiver who got paid this offseason.
This
And
is
that
true.
is, oh my God, that's so important for them, bro. To get their run game going.
Yeah.
And I mean, they bullied the Rams down the field for that overtime possession.
Then ran it in. Yeah, they just stuffed it in the whole time. Like it was crazy.
We both linemen, right? We both played on the line when we played football, and I can tell you right now that offensive line was calling the plays. Like they were telling
Facts.
Jared, "Hey, you ain't throwing that shit. We running it all the
Bruh.
way down the
If
field.
we getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop,
Don't throw that ball."
back to back to back to back. Matter of fact,
Mhm.
we can run the same play if you really want to.
Hey,
Because at that point, it's just us. It's me versus you.
They were. If you review the tape, that was the same play the last 3 plays. It was damn near right behind the B gap on the right side, bro.
Right, bro.
Every
That's
single
real
time.
man football. That's line
It
up.
was brutal, bro, and I felt so bad because you could see in Sean McVay's eyes how much he misses Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, yeah, because Aaron Donald would have played a very large role in the middle of that line during that drive.
There was
for
no
sure
way that was gonna happen if Aaron Donald was in the middle of that drive. Anyway. So man, hey man, week 1, bro, that was crazy. We were very surprised. Do you have any surprises outside of those games? Outside of like the Saints going off?
Nah, I don't think I had any surprises. I think everybody kind of showed me exactly what I thought, who they were going to be. Except I will say, and this really kind of rolls into our little fantasy section.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to that boy Jake Moody, the kicker for the 49ers.
Did he win you the game?
No, he beat one of my teams,
Oh, okay.
and I was killing this other team. This man got 27 points. He was kicking field goal going crazy. And ESPN right now, he's the number 1 rated kicker. Because I saw Justin Tucker miss.
Oh, bro. Oh, my God. Is it the end for Justin Tucker? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, hey, yo. But I got the Cowboys kicker. He did pretty good, too.
Brandon Aubrey, bro.
Yeah. He gave me 21 of them things.
I'll tell you what. If he had
Shout out to the
70
kickers.
yard, if he had hit
Bro,
that 70-yard, bro.
They should have. I wanted to, as an Eagles fan, I wanted to see them try that, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I wanted to see them try. What was you going to lose at that point?
I saw a lot of conversation around this weekend, and a lot of it revolved around, like, the defense was doing so much, they didn't want to give them an opportunity to, like, get one over. You know what I'm saying? Like, the defense had held them. They only had 3 points, I think, at that point, or 7 points at that point. And they didn't want to give them an opportunity to get back into the game.
Man, bullshit. It's week 1, man. Kick that over.
I get that. Hey, bro, as a Cowboys fan, everyone was like, bro, I was begging. I was like, please.
He looked like he got the leg.
Bro, he hit
He aced the first one.
Before the timeout or before the delay.
That's what I'm saying.
He hit that shit, and it was, I think I want to say 10 yards spare.
It would have been good from 72 or something, bro. Like, I'm telling you, I was like, oh, yeah. Push him back 5 because he already got the confidence. I seen it go through.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. I can knock it. Bro, a 70-yarder would have been – I would have loved to see a 70-yard field goal, bro. I would have went crazy.
A lot of people would be like, oh, I don't really know about it. The thing about it, and if you played special teams before, a lot of what I look for is, like, where the ball landed, like, where in the field goal post it landed. It was dead in the fucking middle from 66 yards. Like,
which is crazy.
That's insane. That's hard to do.
And the NFL field goals are thin, bro. They're not like them high school and college.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah. Them hoes is thin, bro.
Bro,
that's crazy.
I was very impressed. But I think my one surprise was Jordan Mason with the 49ers. You know what I mean? Like, almost.
Oh, okay.
He gave me a little bumps in my
chest.
You know what I'm
saying?
Yes. I had to face him in this week. And there was a little moment where I was like, is he about to – I had 3 players. I had Breece Hall. I had the Jets defense. And I had Garrett Wilson. And I was like, oh, I'm easily winning this matchup. And then Christian McCaffrey goes out. And I'm like, oh, shit. Maybe I'm killing this man by like 40 or something. And then he puts Jordan Mason in and almost beats my team. I win by 5. That's like that scared.
Come on, son.
Bro. That was scary.
He played great, and then they got him in the interview afterwards, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm kind of worried about what's gonna happen next for him because you know as soon as Christian McCaffrey comes back, that boy is riding the pine.
That's okay, but he got a job. He got a job somewhere else.
Job, bro.
That game got him a job elsewhere.
If he gets cut, I'll take him.
He ain't gonna get cut. He gonna request for a trade or play out his contract and go somewhere as a free agent. I'm telling you.
I looked at his contract. I don't think they got him for another year after this. So top free agent and running back at Cowboys, you better be knocking on the door somewhere. If you ain't gonna get someone in the draft, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you know what surprised me? Speaking of,
what?
Zeke Elliott didn't look too bad, bro.
Hey, man,
Zeke didn't look too bad, bro.
I gotta get him up to my dog. Zeke. Hey.
First play he got up too. I was like, hold on,
bro.
man.
He jumped over that man. I said, oh, Has he been playing around this whole preseason, bro?
Facts. Zeke ain't look too bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little surprised by that because I thought he was feeling a little washed, but he didn't. So like, I guess shout out to him. But you know, he looked like he was more decisive and explosive with his first step.
I think Zeke is like one of those cats where like I'm worried about what happens after like week 8, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
When like the grind of the season really starts kicking in, that's when I'm like, I don't really know how he's gonna go. So yeah, he did great. I'm impressed. I still think Rico is RB1 in Dallas, and I didn't
For sure.
I wasn't overly impressed by Rico this first week, but I think it was a lot of like they pulled off the gas pedal in the second half,
and you still splitting snaps. So
and the Browns knew too that they were gonna run the ball in the second half, and you could tell like the defense completely shut down every type of like short throw run situation because they knew the Cowboys weren't trying to like blow them out of the water, and that's our weakness. Is that Mike McCarthy? You too goddamn nice. You got to be mean, my guy. You got to put that spirit in and go at him. So
put the pedal to the metal, man.
Put the pedal to the metal, bro. But all right, bro. So any fantasy football players that you would pick up on in the waiver wire this week, right? Any advice you would give for the people?
All right, my only advice is, like I said earlier, man, focus on them damn kickers. Okay, focus on them kickers. If you ain't got a good kicker, go see if you can find you a good kicker. If you're not in a dynasty league, if you're in a dynasty league, this advice means nothing to you. But if you're in a standard league where kickers seem to not necessarily be important, they sure can be. And here's my advice to you: find a kicker who they're either going to score a lot of touchdowns, that team is, so they'll have more opportunity to kick, or the offense is good enough to get into field goal range. We're talking about the 49ers here. 49ers on every drive are pretty much getting past the 50 into the 30. That's perfect field goal range, which is why he had 6 field goal attempts, 6 field goals made, bro. Like, crazy. The Dallas Cowboys do a good job of driving to the other side of the field, too. So even if they don't finish the drive, at least they have an opportunity to put the ball through the field goal. And if he would have hit, I had the Dallas Cowboys kicker. If he would have hit a 70 piece, nobody would have beat me, bro.
How many points that was?
Should be 70.
That's gotta
Let's be honest.
I think 10. I think that's at least 10
it should be
points.
40. Bro, minimum 40, at most 70, a point for every yard. Because that's crazy. You
Brandon
break a record.
Hand down, bro. Best kicker in the league, in my personal opinion. I think Jake Moody's going to be
Jake the Mate, man. But also Jake the Mate Elliott, bro. Hold on, man. I'm not turning on Jake Elliott, my brother. Who has one of the longest field goals on record right now, too?
Was it 65, 64?
Hey, man, we finna hit Google. It wasn't. Hold on.
Because I want to say Brandon Aubrey got a 65-yarder from last year. I want to say. Hold on, let me see.
Let's see. Jake Elliott's longest field goal, it's 61 yards. You know what I'm saying? It was 61. 61 ain't bad.
And Brandon Aubrey is 66. So.
Damn. But you know what I'm saying?
He's currently tied with Justin Tucker for the longest field goal.
But Jake be making. That's why he called Jake the Make.
Yeah.
From State Farm. So I
call Brandon Aubrey Butters. That's his nickname.
That's my tip for this week. Because the teams that you have right now, let's just keep it 1,000. Unless you have somebody who's injured, you really need to get to week 2 or 3 before you're figuring out who is really producing in certain ways.
Corey, not to interrupt you, but I believe Kendrick just dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Shut up, bro.
Oh no. We'll have to get back on that. We'll have to be back.
Hold on, man. I kind of want to play that part right now. What you mean Kendrick just dropped?
Hey, I heard Kendrick.
No. IG too. That's how Drake used to drop.
That's not good. Hey, Drake. We'll have to roll back, bro. We're gonna have to roll it back. All right, bro. My fantasy focus this week. If you can focus on finding some tight end talent right now, this is very important, right? The tight ends have a very bad week in week 1, right? You had multiple injuries. You had not many. I don't think anybody went over 16, 17 points as a tight end.
Will Levis on his knees.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. Oh my God, bro, that's crazy. I think you need to focus on that tight end room. Try to get someone there. My personal favorite this week is Chig. Actually, you talk about Will Levis. I think Chig had a pretty good game. I think this might be his little breakout season. I dropped him in the offseason, and then I saw that first game. I said, "Oh, he's getting targeted," so I brought him back into the fold. So
that's a nice snag.
Yeah. I think that's a good one.
That's a nice snag. I go with that.
I think also Juwan Johnson and Foster Monroe from the Saints. Both those individuals, they have
I
potential
had
to
Jawan
be.
last year, and I feel like
He's
they
just
didn't target him enough.
he's just someone who I feel like is big and can get touchdown targets, and I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
the most
true.
important thing.
That's
And
true.
then my low key one for the Cowboys fans, all right, who may be wondering, right? Jake Ferguson, he a little injured, he a little beat up. Let this man come back into the fold. John Stevens Jr., who not many people
Mm.
know about, but that man's basically a damn receiver. They'll slit him out to the X spot, and he will get some points when he's not fully healthy right now. I don't know if he's gonna play this week, but if he's active at any point in the season, you might want to just put him on your roster just in case. Okay, that's my little fantasy focus for the week. All right, Corey. All right, man. This is where we get into the fun stuff. This is where we start
Let's do
really
it.
asking each other questions and stuff like that. All right,
New
so
Kung Fu Kitty. Oh, my bad.
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that sound next week. So Corey, man. All right, first we're gonna start with the bold predictions, bro. All right, so you looking at week 2. All right, we got some big games in week 2 about to pop off. Okay, namely, I believe Yo Eagles face the Falcons, which is gonna be a good game. Thursday night football tomorrow.
Buffalo,
Sunday.
Miami.
Buffalo, Miami. All right.
Big game.
You got also on the week, and I think is a big game. Not a lot of people may think of it as such. Buccaneers versus Lions.
I like that.
That's gonna be a good game. I think low key. This may be a low key one, but it may be something that's very important. The Bears versus Texans.
I see that. I
want to see how Caleb does against the Texan defense because that's not a bad defense to play.
You know, a sneaky game that I wouldn't mind watching, especially after I watched the Patriots game last week. New England versus Seattle.
Okay.
It won't be a bad game to watch. Now, I'm not like looking at them to be powerhouses, but I think if you're just trying to watch a football game, like you was bored, you need a game to watch.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be bad football, bro.
That's going to probably be some really good football. I am very interested to see how the Seahawks offensively look because last week they looked not great against what was it again? They played
last week the Seahawks.
Yeah, they played.
Yeah, Gino was tripping a little bit,
great.
bro.
It wasn't great, and the Patriots' defense is better than.
They played Denver, bro. They played
oh.
Bo Nix and them. Yeah.
Now, okay, I will say this: Denver and the Patriots defense, I think kind of in the same ranking of like they're kind of tough. They're kind of tough. Definitely on the DBs like Christian Gonzalez and Pat Surtain, both really good DBs, and I think. I don't know how most people think about DK, but I don't know if he's gonna get numbers in the first few weeks because of that. So
I can see that.
First week, he damn sure in the first week. So what's your bold take? What's your bold prediction for this week?
My bold prediction is it's not really even that bold for the Philadelphia Eagles, but we need this, and I predicted it will be a very nice blowout game. This will be one of them games where AJ Brown can spank that baby in the end zone and can get his fine. Where Saquon get another one, you know what I'm saying? We can really structure up our tush push because that wasn't even going that great. So that's one prediction. Prediction number 2. Well, they're in Miami, so this may be different. If they was going up to Buffalo, I think Miami gets stomped. But I think Miami right now, the line on Miami is 2.5, negative 2.5 with 48 and a half over or under. I'll take the under on that. I think it will be a close game. It'll be a pretty good game, but I think the Buffalo Bills edge it out. And
you give that to the Bills. Oh,
I give it to the Bills.
We missing the point right here. This is both of our AFC East favorites going against each other. This is great. This is awesome. We get some bragging rights early in the season. Okay, you going with Bills? I'm 100% going with the Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins didn't show me nothing that I didn't believe in. Even you texting the group. Hey, hold up, Corey might be right. Now they still won the game, but again, they're just a team that to me is empty calories. There's a lot of flash. They have a lot of talent. They're just not putting it together.
I can say a lot about the Bills for this past week because they were losing for the majority of that game against the
that's true.
Cardinals,
and they came back.
Should not win more than 8 games. So. You know what I mean? We both kind of put it on.
That's true.
Let's be real.
That's true.
Both those teams are the only teams that are gonna maybe win this division. Like I love that the Patriots won week 1, but I don't have any faith for them for the long term. And hey, bro, Devontae, I love you, but like I'm sorry. I just think that the East is like maybe a lot weaker than we thought because the Jets did not look good at all against the 49ers. I would say on the Bills and Dolphins game, I did it again. Corey. This is the camera. Don't put my hand in front of the camera. the Bills and Dolphins, my biggest issue with this is for me for my Dolphins prediction is like who's getting the touches in the backfield because that's the most important position for the offense this year is the backfield. If A-Chain is down, who's getting those touches? And if it's Jalen Wright, I love it. But Raheem Mostert's not playing this week. He's already ruled out. He's already not going to be in the game. So if it's Jeff Wilson, I'm going to have a little bit of an issue with that because I like Jeff as like a backup player, but getting a lot of touches, I don't love that. And he's a University of Texas alum, so it pains me to say that, but that's just kind of how I feel on it. You know what I mean? So I'm a little worried about that. So your bold prediction is Bills over Miami,
and Dallas is gonna lose to the Saints. I'm just joking.
Corey, don't wish. You better not wish on me. You better
Yeah,
not
Bills
bet
over
on me,
Miami.
I think my bold prediction is that. Ooh, I'm looking at the schedule and I'm coming up with this. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna say my bold prediction is that the Giants beat the Commanders this week.
They ain't bold.
That's
they
bold,
both
bro.
suck.
Okay, all right. I go a little bolder, but let me double back to why I think it's bold to say Giants over Commanders because I think everyone is super high on the Commanders' talent. Jalen Daniels is awesome in my personal opinion, but he didn't look hot in Week 1. I do think that the Giants have what I consider to be like the weird cheat code against the Commanders. It is a divisional game, so it's like, is it really a bold to pick a divisional, upset? Because that always happens in the NFC East, aside for the Giants being either one of our teams. So, all right, I'll go bolder.
Green Bay gonna be 0-2.
Nah. Green Bay gonna get the Colts.
With no Jordan Love.
Oh, Jordan Love not playing. Ooh,
You saw Anthony Richardson slinging that thing. Pause.
Jordan Love not playing. Ooh, Green Bay might be 0-2. Especially have to put Malik Willis out because they not picking up anybody. I don't think they bringing up any.
Nah, they said they not.
I think that Green Bay goes 0-2, but that's not my bold prediction. That is a good prediction though. That is actually like low key under the radar prediction right there. I think you know what, bro? Fuck. What if I told you that the Ravens go 0-2?
You know what's funny? I was gonna say that.
What if I tell you that the Ravens
I was gonna say
the Raiders?
That would not shock me, bro.
The reason I say this, and I love the Ravens, and I have no issue with the Ravens. I think that the Raiders, weirdly enough, they be winning these 12 o'clock games sometimes, and you just kind of confused, like, what are they doing? And I want to say that Gardner Minshew had a good game against them last year. If I'm correct, or maybe I'm like remembering differently, but I think the Raiders.
The only issue I have is that the Raiders are not at the house. I think when they're at the house, they go crazy, they go stupid.
That's true. Maybe it's a bad. You know what? I'm gonna stick with it because we stand on business around here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say Ravens 0-2. When they blow out the Raiders by 40, I will eat crow. But it is what it is. Okay. All right, Corey. You got any questions for me, bro?
Any questions for you specifically? I had something that I weaved in earlier.
Okay.
I love
that.
But one question that I thought about when I was like going back and watching the games earlier this week or this past week, and specifically also when I was watching the Cowboys game, was we didn't get to talk about this, but where do the Cowboys finish this year? Like what record-wise, where do they finish, and where do you think if they go to the playoffs, where do you think they're gonna end up? I need to know based off of the Week 1 performance.
Yeah, that's a good question. You hit me with one that I really hate doing, which is putting a number behind the win column for the Cowboys. If I told you they won 11 games, everyone would be like, yeah, because that's the Cowboys. And they win games in the regular season. That's just who they are. After Week 1, I feel pretty confident they can be 12-5 by the end of the season. I feel particularly confident they could be 12-5. I think that I look at their schedule, and there's like a few games that I'm like a little bit trepidatious on, but we face the NFC South, right? That's like the division that we face, and I think we cake up the entire NFC South, bro. I think that's one of those divisions where if you ain't winning them, and a few years ago, this is where Dallas had their big win total was because we as a division went against them in the year. And so I think potentially That's what we gonna see. Hopefully, that's what actually happens. I don't really know. I think we get to the playoffs, and you know what, man? This is a Cowboy fan and Eagle fan podcast, so we gotta be high up on them. However, I don't know if we're gonna win more than 2 games in the playoffs. I can see us winning a first game, and this is really where like we have to have a discussion on like if we're gonna get a bye. I don't think we get a bye because I think the Lions and the 49ers are gonna beast through the whole season. I think we lose to both of those teams this year. I don't know about the Eagles. I'm agree with you, and this is where I wanted to talk to you because I was impressed with the Eagles defense. I wasn't impressed with Jalen Hurts. The offense, yes. Saquon Barkley, dangerous. Goddamn dangerous, man. And this is where we have to like start. I'm not trying to like put anything on Saquon, but Saquon is often injured, and I am kind of weirdly skeptical on him playing a full season. And I think that goes along with my worry about Jalen, which is that like, man, he was not making good reads. That first drive, I was just like, what did you see on that throw? What was the throw?
Now there were two of his picks. Mm-hmm. The first pick, both of them were slips by players. So even on the second pick, I still think would have been a pick. Don't get it wrong, but I think that it would have been played a little bit harder. Whenever he threw back across his body into the end zone, and whenever AJ Brown was trying to adjust, he slipped in the end zone, and then Buddy got there to cleanly pick it. That's why AJ Brown kind of just stopped on the play. He was so mad about that because he wasn't mad at him being open. Yeah. Now, that's why I want to see a little bit more coming up this week because there was still other decisions where I'm like, come on, Jalen. I said it this week. One of my takeaways was that he needs to stop playing hero ball. And people are like, he's not playing hero ball. What I'm saying is there are moments where you've extended the play. The play is clearly done, bro. Yeah. Just let's live another down, bro. Just throw the ball out. Don't take a hit. Throw the ball out. Let's get a field goal. We'll take the 3 points. You could have threw the ball out instead of taking in the play before that, he looked at a guy. He just stared him down and damn near threw a pick. It should have been a pick six. Yep. And in the very next play, he did throw the pick. And like, bro, you could have just threw it out, and then we would have took a field goal into halftime. It would have been fine. We would have got the points. So, but then there were so many other plays, especially in the second half, where he was on fire. So I was like,
he's off and on. He's up and down, and I think he has the capacity to do really good and like play really well. And you know how it was a few years ago, right? When like Luis was like very much against Jalen Hurts being the starter, and I was like, nah, man, I think he's gonna be cold, and he was because y'all went to the Super Bowl that year. This past year soured on him pretty completely, not totally, but like pretty completely because of what they have in the receiver room and what his production was. It just did not line up, and especially with the offensive line that I consider to be top 3 in NFL. Not this year because I think that
but last year for sure.
Kelsey. Yeah, last year for sure, but this year like not. You got to figure out how him and Cam Jurgens, bro.
They got to get it together.
They got to figure some shit out.
But Cam's still good. Becton, I don't know what got into him. That he's been playing. He played a great game. Bro.
You know what I mean? That's why.
He played a great game. We got Lane Johnson, one of the best tackles in the league. Yeah. Cold. And then we got Jordan Mailata, bro, like who's a captain on the team this year instead of Devontae Smith, right? As voted by his players. Like last year, I do think it was a storm, like a perfect storm. There was miscommunication from the offensive coordinator, head coach, Jalen Hurts, and those people. They were trying to make up. Like remember, I can vividly remember one play at the end of I think the Seahawks game where they threw the ball and it got picked off. He forced it to AJ Brown and got picked off and we lost the game. This man, Nick Sirianni, went in and took the L. He said, yeah, I should have called a timeout. I should have did this, that, and the third. What really happened was Jalen Hurts and A.J. Browns ignored whatever was going on and did their own stuff. And they came out and said that.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick took the L for us, man. Like that's why we rock with Nick. But like that was on us. We came out and did our own thing, and we shouldn't have did that. Like we should have just whatever. But now I think with Kellen Moore, with being able to use some pre-snap motion and get people out. That wheel route that Saquon Barkley caught, I broke that down too, bro. It was because of that motion that he
in CFB 25 many times.
100%. They brought the wide receiver from the left all the way to the right. That brought the linebacker in, and Saquon went right to the wheel. Yeah. And Jalen Hurts dropped a beautiful ball.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen all year long.
I think that y'all's, and this is where we have conversations, right? I think y'all's win total will still be high. I'm not going to be down. I think we still going to split the season series like we have for the last few years.
For forever.
For forever. And then I think that we have a really, really interesting dynamic at the end of the year because I don't know if the 49ers win 14 games. I don't know if they win 15 games. But I think that they're above 13. And I think that they're probably going to be still the number 1 seed because they went out and they destroyed a defense that I consider to be a top 5 defense in a way that, like, damn, with a backup running back. Like, that was damn.
It looked really good, man.
It looked really good. I think the Lions this is they real, like, we going to show you season, and this is probably their best opportunity to, like, put it together and beat the 49ers in the playoffs. I still think the Cowboys are going to compete in the regular season. The reason I say they 12-5 is I look at their schedule, and outside of the Ravens, the Lions, the 49ers, and a split game with the Eagles, you maybe can say a loss against the Texans puts them at 11-6, but I think that 12-5 is just the most realistic when I look at the schedule and say that's probably it. Because, I mean, again, like Carolina Panthers, cheeks. Bengals now, I'm not worried about that game in Week 14. I'm not worried about that game. Falcons, definitely not. Pittsburgh Steelers, definitely not. Ravens, Week 3, yes, a little bit. I'm a little bit, but I still think after watching the Ravens game, I think that we can do some stuff with that, especially with the run game not being as high. I think Dallas' defense is better than the Chiefs, so I think that we gonna put them in and especially with how Mike Zimmer rolls defenses, is gonna put Lamar in an uncomfortable spot. And so I was really encouraged because Deshaun's kind of a mobile QB, and that tells me like we can probably play him pretty
but they're 2 types of mobile.
That's very true.
Deshaun is kind of almost not really wanting to run ever.
That's very true.
Lamar had 122 rushing yards, bro.
Yeah. I ain't even trying to put them in the same category of mobile. Don't
I'm saying if Lamar want to run, he go take off.
He will.
He gonna be gone. He looking like old Vic.
Hey, bro, he looked dirty, bro. He hit that one. Did he hit the juke move? He did hit one of the juke moves where he like went inside and left the dude going the opposite direction. Yeah, but I hear you. And then how you feel? You think Eagles? Because I'm talking a lot about the Eagles record, but like, how do you feel? Because you seem to be really high up on this season.
I do. I think this week is gonna tell me everything I need to know about the Eagles, and here's why. Mm-hmm. The Falcons are not a good team. Kirk Cousins, he looks washed, bro. Like they changed his stance and everything, bro. It looks like he can't really drive off of his plant foot. We know that he dealt with that injury too, and he's like 37, he's damn near 40, right? Like, not everybody's Tom Brady or LeBron James. So they're not a good team. If we go in and handle business how we supposed to handle business, because last year that's what we didn't do. Teams that we should have handled business on, we didn't handle business on, like the Cardinals or the Seahawks. We should have handled business on them games. This is going to let me know, do we have the team with the attitude back? Because some games, the X and O's are going to win you the game, and some games, it's the attitude. The Philly attitude got to be there.
Yeah.
That we some dogs, we going to kill whoever's in front of us. So this is the game that's going to let me know. If we win this game, I do not see us losing until around week 7, week 8. And then after that, I don't see us losing again until, I would say, I don't know when to give them the Cowboys matchup, early in the season or late. I will give them
home games.
Right, me too. So that means it will be the earlier than later because we play them later at in Philly. So
okay, yeah.
I don't see like
I don't think
easy.
either one of our teams loses anybody else in our division. I'll give you that. I think that if I see this week what I need to see, the Commanders and the Giants, they out of there. And that's 4 games for your team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You feel me? And really 5 because I know we're gonna get at least 1 with the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing though too. Hey, well, let's. I keep on hearing this too, and I even said it a little bit earlier though too. But like we did go through like 7 years where Cowboys were just they were kind of clean sweeping y'all, right? Like the whole division, Dak really didn't start losing against the division for like 3 years ago.
No,
Yeah,
because here's the no. We have to take in context. We have to take in context.
I'm sure.
Because there were games where like Dak would win a game when he's playing our backups because we're not playing our starters because we're already in the playoffs.
And
I'm not counting them.
The first game that y'all beat the Cowboys after 5 years was when Dak was hurt.
Exactly. So them games that I wash out, I don't count them. I'm talking about full healthy Dak versus the real starter, our starter versus Dak. Okay. Them I count. Them little wash games where we're playing backup teams or some team is already in the playoffs. I don't really care. I don't give a damn about them games.
Hey man, all I know is Dak owns the NFC East when it comes to record wise, right? Like that's just a fact. You can't argue with the statistics on that. He be
and Jalen Hurts owned the NFC East with Super Bowl appearances. Okay.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, we got that out of the way. I think we both are high up on our teams to a certain degree. I will say this though, in the playoffs, do you feel confident? And I want you to be honest, Cori. Take the fandom away for a second. Take the fandom away. Eagles versus 49ers playoffs. How you feel?
If we're at home, we beat them.
If you at home, you beat them for sure. Just straight up, for sure.
Yeah, I think we do exactly what we did to them last time.
Okay.
And then they're gonna complain. Oh, he hurt his Brock got hurt.
Okay.
It's okay, bro. We got our secondary back again.
Even after what you saw with the Eagles in the playoffs against the Buccaneers, you
yes, bro. Okay. Because what I saw this past week, bro, was almost angelic, bro. It was like I would see stuff and I would hear, bro, we were doing things on defense that we had not done in forever.
Sure.
I saw safety blitz. Looks phenomenal. I saw corner blitzes where a DN was dropping into coverage. I saw front seven stopping runs, but also not getting baited on play action. Bro, I was seeing things. And then let me tell you about that boy, Kenyon Mitchell. That's a bad boy. He can play corner, dog. Huh? Yeah, he can. Bro, he can play, dog.
Oh,
he can play.
Mitchell. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, yeah. We all knew that though, right? Like as draft season, we all said as soon as we saw him in the conference.
For sure, but like corners sometimes with corners are like, yeah, they play well in college, and it's like, okay, they're nice, but then when you get into the league, you're gonna go against real receivers for real.
Yeah.
He
pretty much locked up Christian Watkins.
Bruh, yeah. he was running his routes for him.
Yeah.
I mean, dog. And we got Chauncey back. He a dog.
Hold on, wait. He did not have a good game. PFF grade too. He didn't have. He had a good game. He had a good game against a good team in a way, but like, and when I'm watching him, I'm like, when they got toasted in that game, it came off of Chauncey.
Well, I'm saying there was a couple of plays where not only Chauncey, but our defense was a little off. And again, we have a new defensive coordinator.
Sure.
It's the first game we didn't play in the preseason. Like our starters didn't really play that much in the preseason. So I knew there's going to be a little bit of toss-up of some plays that were going crazy, right? But overall, when I saw there were plays where he was coming down, stuffing the run behind the line of scrimmage, dog. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
I think that y'all are going to be a good team. I can't see y'all being until y'all do it. Again, you have done it before. You have done it before, so I'm not.
The Falcons game gonna let me know, dog.
It is. I want to say, like, off of week 1, the 49ers look more dominant than they did last year, and it's scary.
Bro, we played on a slippery field and a bad game. Jalen Hurts didn't play that great, and we still put up 34 points.
Yes, I'm not saying against that. I think that your team with Saquon is absolutely dangerous. I'm more concerned about the team that has been running kind of roughshod for the last 2 years, which is with Brock Purdy, the 49ers. But I do agree with you that y'all are a lot more competitive this year. I don't think y'all have a repeat performance like you did against the Buccaneers necessarily. But I will say this. I don't think you got the best Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like that week 1 performance from Green Bay seemed like they weren't really in tune yet. And this is how they looked last year at the beginning of season 2. Remember, because Jordan Love in the first few weeks, everyone was like, "Man, he ain't shit." And then by the end of the season, you know what I mean, he was beating the fuck out of the Cowboys. They snuck into the playoffs and beat the fuck out of the Cowboys. And like that's where I'm saying like, you know what I mean,
That
it's
look
hard
pretty
to
good
tell.
to me.
It's hard to know off of week one. It's hard to know off of week one. That's kind of my bottom line, right? Okay, man. All right, Corey. This is your point, right? All right, Corey. Top 5, man. Give me your top 5, Corey. What you got?
My top 5 storylines, takeaways.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Number 1, we talked about it a little bit earlier, bro, but the Detroit Lions resurgence, man, pulled off a very dramatic overtime win against the Los Angeles Rams. I've been saying this for some years now, but the Detroit Lions are here and they're here to stay. They not the same Detroit Lions. If you have not been watching these Lions,
you know what I'm saying?
you need to go watch these Lions, bro. They got grit. They play good football. If you're a Lions fan, it is a great time to be a Lions fan. Number 2, how'd you feel about Harbaugh's debut?
They lose? They win? They won. I feel okay. I'm okay.
22-10, you know what I'm saying? His return back to the NFL.
J.K. Dobbins was the most impressive thing in that whole game to me. Yeah.
Indeed. So I just wanted to remind people, you know what I'm saying? Now he did leave some mess behind him, but he's back to the future of the NFL, doing what he got to do. So shout out to him. As much as it pains me to say, as I wear this wonderful green, and I want to sing "Fly Equals Fly," I put on here as a takeaway the Dallas Cowboys' dominant defense. They look like, if you watch the game, it was really scary, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn. It's one of them games as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, be like, damn, I don't want to have to go up against them twice, fam. Like, I really do not, dog. I really do not want to have to go up against them twice. I would rather just see them one time and, like, you know, run a couple of trick plays and we, you know, do what we got to do to beat them. But their defense looked dominant. My boy Diggs is back. He got himself a pick. So that's.
I can't believe
they
tried him on that. I was really I was like,
yeah,
this late in the game,
they
dog?
did, and could have been successful. The ball got tipped a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it's still, I don't know if you would go over there and try that, but it is what it is. Number 4, obviously Aaron Rodgers came back, and contrary to popular belief, even though the Jets didn't necessarily play good, I think Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. Okay, he looked very much so Aaron Rodgers to me.
That throw
So,
to Garrett Wilson on the sideline, my
Bruh.
God, I saw it somewhere. It looked like a handoff 10 yards down the field. That's crazy, bro.
man, Jets fans have hope this season because Aaron Rodgers on that ayahuasca, and he on the ayahuasca on the field because he going crazy up there. That's takeaway number 4.
Yep.
And then takeaway number 5, or at least storyline for me, was really Jordan Love, man. Like, I'm so happy. I like Jordan Love. I think he is doing a fantastic job. He's kind of Aaron Rodgers 2.0 to me for Green Bay because he plays a lot like Rodgers when it comes to like his mental and what he needs to do. Yeah. And I was very happy that though he got injured, it wasn't like a super serious injury. He doesn't need contrary to popular belief, I want to play the best players, bro. I don't want you, because I don't want no excuses when we beat you about how this person got injured and everything else. And for everybody who is in my man's DM, Jalen Carter, you know, calling him a racist, wishing that he died, not calling him a racist, but using racial terms and wishing that he died and stuff. Injuries happen in football 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10. It's not intentional. So, again, go touch the grass, get a life. But those are my top 5 storylines you should look into. The Detroit Lions resurgence, Jim Harbaugh's return, Dallas Cowboys dominant defense, Aaron Rodgers comeback, and the Jordan Love injury, because that can set you up right for week 2.
Yeah. Absolutely. On your point of like wanting to play the best players, how you gonna know how your team is unless you play the best players, right?
Exactly.
Unless you play the best teams, how you gonna know how your team really gonna be competitive wise?
If you're a real competitor, you don't want to play. I want your best.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you get to the playoffs, that conversation changes. But
no. And when I get to the playoffs, I want to win. I still want your best, but if it happens, hey.
By any means, Corey. By any means, you know what I'm saying?
You know, that was a fluke Super Bowl. We still got the hardware, buddy.
Still got it. You still have it. You know what I mean?
Still got it. It's in the record books, dog.
Okay, my boy. Okay. All right. I appreciate your storylines. I think it's gonna be really interesting to follow up on Harbaugh throughout the year. I think for all intents and purposes, first off, UT beat the hell out of Michigan, dog. That was a game where you wake up and realize, is Texas actually back? Like,
Texas is nice.
Is Texas actually back? College football playoffs last year and beating the hell out of the national championships this year.
That SEC move wasn't too hard for them.
That wasn't going to be too hard. I'm kind of worried about some other teams who may move with them to the SEC. Sorry, Devontae. So Here we go, bro. Here we go. I think that there is a lot to talk about. This or that is where we gonna really debrief. Okay, so Corey, I'm gonna give you some this or that questions. You let me know who would you rather, and we're gonna start with one where I think you already know is coming. Would you rather have a Mr. Dig versus Dig competition? Who
Huh?
would you rather have on your
Enunciate.
team? If you Sorry about that. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
Hey, pause. Would you rather have Trayvon Diggs or Stephon Diggs on your team?
Stephon. I'm taking Stephon off
Tell me
top
why.
because I'm biased. I'm an offensive mind. I think Stephon, you can give him more opportunities to affect the game. Like if you're Trayvon Diggs, you can kind of scheme around him to not be able to throw it to his side, which is a mark of a good cornerback, right? Like if ain't nobody throwing over here because they know it's about business over here. So I think effectively I can affect my team's outcome more often if I had somebody like Stephon Diggs, who had a pretty good game
Yeah,
this
hit
week.
per game. Hit per game. He had what one touchdown, two touchdowns? I can't remember exactly.
I know he had at least one.
He had at least one, and then he made a very big impact on that game. I tell you this though. I tell you this because we talk about Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Diggs, and we talk about the impact that Stephon gives to the team. I don't know about you, but I think that when you have a cornerback who, as you say, completely isolates half of the field from your throws and your scheming, there becomes a really big challenge for all offenses. They have to figure something else out. And I don't know, man. The Cowboys cornerback room, Al Harris, shout out Al Harris and the DBs, bro. He just churning out what I consider to be an all-pro factory, yo. Because Kalen Carson, as a rookie, looked damn fine on the other side, and they were trying to go at him the entire game, bro. Okay, all right, I got it again. Pause. You know what I mean? I think that that's where we gonna have a pretty big upside is, and that's specifically because we have a quarterback that everyone knows we ain't gonna try. We ain't gonna try Trayvon for the majority of the game. Maybe one or two times, but that's a Darrell Revis effect, right? He got the island over on that side,
Right.
and everybody coming that way. Okay,
I'll
man.
take that.
This or that, and this is a big one for this week. All right, this is a big one for this week. Because it's already been announced that Mr. Russell Wilson is not playing versus the Broncos in his revenge game, or what some people consider to be a potential revenge game. But as you look at the entire season, would you rather have Justin Fields or Russell Wilson manning the QB spot for your team?
Russell Wilson. Easy. That's
Really?
that ain't like, yeah, the reason why I say that is I don't think that, like, statistically last year Russell Wilson didn't have like a terribly bad year. Like I think he had actually a pretty good year. The Broncos were not a good team. And plus they did not want him. And so you're talking about you're trying to really get the Pittsburgh Steelers back to something of where they're like a formidable team. You're talking about having a veteran or having somebody who a lot of people are out on Justin Fields, right? Like I would much rather have a Russell Wilson who is going to be able to get the Steelers. I feel like have some pretty good receivers. Like they have at least one really good one, and the other ones are like at least okay.
Definitely all pro this year, I think.
That's what I'm saying. So like I would rather get Russell Wilson, who's going to be able to competitively and repetitively get him the ball. So like I would rather have Russell Wilson.
I think we both agree that offense struggles regardless of who's starting.
100%.
Yeah, but I can see your points, and you know what? You turned me a little bit because I was initially going to say Justin Fields is like the obvious pick in my opinion because he's dynamic. You know what I mean? Russell Wilson, you're only really going to get someone who kind of like he plays a position, and that's like it. And with Justin Fields, he can kind of cause a little bit more of a headache with the running ability and stuff like that. So I will agree with you on this one as of right now because I was not impressed by Justin Fields in week 1 against Falcons team. But honestly, that whole offense just didn't seem to vibe well.
They need some work, fam.
Yeah, that was really, really weird. Okay, man, this is the next one, right? So we got two guys, and honestly, at this point, I don't think either one of these guys is wide receiver 1, but fantasy wise, they're still considered the top 2. You know what I mean? Even though CD was technically drafted a lot earlier than both of them this year. But specifically when you look at it, and I bring this up because of what Jamar Chase's comments last week were about wanting to beat the hell out of Justin Jefferson. 2 LSU boys, both in the league at the top of the position. Who would you rather have as your wide receiver 1? Would you have Judas or would you have Chase?
Honestly, I think they are. I would take either one, and I that seems to be like like a cop out answer, but I really do think the gap between those two if there is any, it ain't that far.
Mm.
Given the right team and right situation, they dogs, bro. Like they can be wide receiver number one really on anybody team except maybe the Eagles because you got Devontae Smith and AJ Brown.
You
So
don't think that it could be? Nah, that's capping. Hey, Corey, you capping with that one, my boy. You cap where you know he was, right?
no, bro. I still think
Stop the cap.
to this day
Come on now.
AJ Brown should be and is in the conversation. So is Devontae Smith, bro. I think them two sharing snaps is why they are not viewed as wide receiver ones. That's it. I think them sharing snap, bro. Devontae Smith can go to any team right now and be that dude.
Okay.
AJ,
Stop the cap.
you don't think so?
We are absolutely disagreeing on this one. We gonna have to disagree on this one because I think this, right. We saw a Devontae Smith wide receiver 1 year, his rookie year, or was it 2 years in a row? I think it was his rookie year. It was by himself without AJ Brown, right? I believe so. And I don't think I think he can be wide receiver 1 on the majority of teams. But saying he can go to a team where you have a CeeDee Lamb or a Justin Jefferson and he can take away snaps, I mean, he's going to take – let's be real,
He's
right?
gonna take away snaps on any
take
team
away
he go
some
to.
snap. He's going to take away snaps, but he's not going to take away the target percentage, in my personal opinion, to a certain degree, right? Like, CeeDee Lamb is still going to feast because that's who CeeDee Lamb is. And I think Devontae Smith is a – bona fide, he is the best compliment in the entire league. I think you have the most complimentary wide receiver tandem at this point in time, 100%. And I like AJ Brown. You know I do. You know I traded for him. You know I got Jettas and AJ Brown. So I'm happy both of them wide receiver run when it comes to the fantasy numbers. But I do believe that Jettas and Jamar Chase are a step above most people. I think it's a 3-man game right now. I think it's CD, I think it's Jettas, and I think it's Chase because of who – I think it's their team, bro. Like, the team is made up to get them the targets, and they don't fail when they get it. And I think A.J. Brown, I love him, but I have seen him in games be targeted a hell of a lot of times and it not go as successfully as it should be. And that's where I'm like, that's the grind that I have there. Because, if Jettas is getting targeted the whole game, he going to get – production. Chase as well. CD showed me that a lot last year, and that's why right now those are the 3 highest paid receivers in the league. Well, Chase is not there yet, but he's about to get that deal. So
I mean, it's just every deal gets bigger because at some point it was
true.
Devontae Smith, and then it was AJ Brown. It was like it's just whoever get paid next.
AJ Brown got his deal after Jettas, and they did not give him as much for a reason.
Well, but no, that's not. No.
Or was it before? I can't remember if maybe the order.
It's not. But the reason is not because he's not that dude. The reason is our front office is very smart when it comes to structuring contracts to keep the team intact. We have to pay so many players, bro. Look at the star power on our team, dog.
I mean, right now most of your players are rookie contracts. If I'm wrong,
right. But think about it. So we got Lane Johnson. You gotta pay him. He's a big right. He's a right tackle. You gotta pay him.
Line wise, your team is not rookie contracts on that end.
Exactly. You gotta pay him. You got Jalen Hurts. You gotta pay big. Devontae Smith. You gotta pay big.
He actually took a deal, didn't he? Jalen?
Yes, but they're doing the Patrick Mahomes thing, right? Where you restructure every single year.
Yeah.
But that's the smart route because if you're thinking about all these players, we should have been letting people go and even trading them. That's what happened with Chauncey last year. We couldn't pay Chauncey because he was too big of a player and we had to pay everybody else. We couldn't play Hassan Reddick and he went to the Jets. Hey, Hassan, please come back.
He ain't gonna come back.
I know he not, but like you see what I'm saying? We have so many star power players who would go to any other team and get that bread, but you have to be able to have players who are really to structure their contract that's better for the team. That is what happened. People are going to get their money, but it ain't going to be huge, big money like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson because you can't afford that and still have the team that we have.
Yeah, no, I get you. I still think that those 3 deals, when Chase gets his completed, they're indicative of and reflecting what is accurate to the top 3 in the wide receiver. Like, the wide receiver rankings, I think those 3 are where they need to be. And they got their deals in sequential order, right? Like Jefferson set the market, and then people did not match his deal because they knew you're not Justin Jefferson. And right. I think that goes along the same way. When CD got his deal this last year, he got it because you're CD. You've proven yourself. So, all right, bro. 2 more questions, and we're gonna be out of here, okay? First one, and they're both kind of like jokey questions, honestly. Broadcast debut from Mr. Tom Brady, as well as in college football, broadcast debut from Mr. Colt McCoy. If you had a choice between the two, who would you want announcing your team's football games? They both kind of had a really rocky start. I ain't gonna lie. It was really awkward to hear both of them talk.
I think I would choose Tom Brady because he's more fun. Like, I think he's in an era where he don't really care too much about stuff. Like, he gonna give you some of that football knowledge because he's so close to it. But also the reason why I was rocky because it's like he's Tom Brady, but does he really care that much? He don't.
I think
I'm taking time.
It was layers of him just needing to get comfortable in the flow of conversations and understanding like not to leave those like silent points. Like we have in our podcast in previous years had to learn like not to leave it in the silent moments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where I think he has some issues there. But I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna get to it. I do think that the nuggets of knowledge that you get from Tom Brady during games is gonna be awesome. I just hate that it's always going to come during the Cowboys game because that's how it's going to be. The Cowboys always gets the Fox slot, and it's going to be the entire season of me listening to Tom Brady. Okay, the last one, bro. Hey, and he just dropped. So, you know what I'm saying? This is a shout out to the boy. As well as acknowledging the fact that there's one man who I think should be in the Super Bowl halftime performance regardless of whatever beef because, I mean, he is New Orleans. If you had an opportunity to pick and chart and schedule the Super Bowl halftime, would you rather have Kendrick Lamar or would you rather have Lil Wayne?
Kung Fu Kitty.
Okay.
Ain't nobody praying for me. Y'all know what happens in New Orleans stays in New Orleans. Yeah, I'm going Kung Fu Kenny. Here's the thing, bro. Let's keep it a buck. Would it be cool for him to be in Louisiana and it's Lil Wayne doing his thing? For sure. Have you ever been to a Lil Wayne concert? I have. Have you been to a Kendrick concert? I have.
Yeah.
Kendrick, not only does Kendrick appeal to a larger market, we're talking about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Kendrick's hot flame right now.
He's the biggest thing right now.
And his performances be top tier.
Yeah.
And he got a song with Taylor Swift. Can you bring
Taylor Swift gonna pop out? Is she gonna pop out?
I don't know. What if the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? She popped out the Super Bowl. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's the pop out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to pop out and show neighbors.
Right? Show neighbors. Yeah, bro. I've seen Lil Wayne in concert, and I can respect to the GOAT. And when it came to the rap game, but when it comes to the performances,
they be wow. They're not good, bro.
Impacted his age a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right, Cori. Hey, bro. That was a great podcast. This is week 2 of Birds and the Boys, and I am so excited for next week because next week we get to talk even more shit, and we get to see, man. We both got 2 like games. If either one of our team loses, it's gonna be a tough week for.
It's bad, bro. I'm out. I'm telling you right now. If the Eagles lose to the Falcons, I'm out on the Eagles, bro. I'm out on the Eagles this season.
Saints, I'm gonna have a pretty bad day. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna be out on them because they be losing some games that they shouldn't be losing every year. But yeah, that's gonna be tough.
It's just gonna mean that we played like we played at the end of last season. It's not gonna be a good season. So the Eagles, you lose to the Falcons, I'm out on you this season. I mean, I'm gonna watch every single game, but I don't have no expectations but to lose.
Dad, you better do the Saints like you did the Saints 2 years ago. All right, you better do them dirty, my boy. Hey, I need that. All right, that group chat. You know what I'm saying? I got to throw in some slander. All right, my boy. I appreciate you coming through. Everybody coming through to the Master Spencer channel. This is going to get uploaded to YouTube. This was a clean recording, bro. I don't think we had any issues. Look at that. Look at that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, love that. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace out, bro.
Peace.